Okay, so we are now live, right?
Alrighty. Welcome in, everybody, to the Third Generation Wrestling Podcast. 3G Dub back here again. It's been a little bit, but we're here. We're just going to get to that part. We're here.
Yeah, you've
Real
heard
Big
it all
E,
before.
Real Big E, and Rob the Ambassador. How's it going, man? I know you sent out the fantasy football invites already, so it's almost
Yeah,
that
man.
time again.
Man, it's coming up. Invites are out. The league is open. If you want to do mock drafts, you can do that. I haven't heard from anybody that they're not returning, but people aren't always good at hitting me back, so we'll find out. But yeah, the draft is going to be sometime around the third week in August on a Saturday. It'll be an offline draft, so you can draft anywhere you are. It's how we've done it the past few years. I kind of miss getting together at B Dubs, doing it the old way, but like we say, life gets busy and everybody's everywhere. It's just easier to do it that way.
Yeah. Still, yeah, I think that's better because we always talk about how the downside to do. It's fun to get together, yes. You can still get together, but we need that strict time limit, or else we're gonna be done for 8 hours. And it's like, no, you're not camping out at B-Dubs doing a draft.
Right. Yeah, because when you do it offline, people be taking 5 minutes to make their pick. When you're doing it online, the clock is showing you better make a pick or we're going to pick for you. Yeah, so it
Right.
goes quicker and it's just easier for everybody being in different locations. And then, sometimes, like you said, the few of us, we get together anyway and still do our thing. So it works for everybody.
Yes, sir. So there's been a lot going on since the last time we was on here. I think Money in the was it Money in the Bank we did post show?
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, so since then, there was that match that took place on Raw after, which was Jey Uso versus Gunther, and Gunther beat Jey Uso and became the new World Heavyweight Champion, which I was like, holy shit, already. Um, Obviously, Rikishi, Jay's father, had his thoughts. We all know what those are. Don't need to even bother stressing that out. I get where he's coming from a certain extent. And there's even a video circulating on social media with Paul Heyman addressing people that are hating on Jey Uso when he became world champion. And Paul ran down the numbers, like the facts, like the actual numbers that Jey was bringing in. He's actually a huge, huge draw. To make a long story short, so merchandise and ticket sales, all that, all goes up when Jey comes to town. So people can say what they want. At the end of the day, what's the thing we always say? You can't draw, you ain't gonna be champion. The bottom line. So he's been drawing. Um, However, there's one thing I do agree with the internet on, and that is that they did kind of put him in a box with a catchphrase. And there's been wrestlers down the years. Everybody, those are the ones that do the best, really. Have a catchphrase. Some can wrestle and have the personality on the mic. He is one of them. But he did so much better on the mic when he was able to just be himself and just cut a promo. Like the first time he was in the same ring with Jacob Fatu. Like that was like authentic. Like, dude, you keep staring at me, I'm gonna whooping your ass too. Like that was like what was getting him over. And it was cool when he was doing you know, when he first started doing the yeet, one word, 4 letters, uh, uh, but to do it and end every promo that way, almost starting every promo that way, it's like, all right, you're killing us now. Like, we need you to be authentically you. Like the promo he cut before WrestleMania. When he came out dressed in all black, wasn't yeeting at all, like was just kind of cut Gunther down, talking about his mama and all that. Like that's the Jey that got over. But just be the champion and just everything is uh, like it's cool, but bro, like you gotta separate yourself a little bit. and they just kind of wrote him into a corner. I'm not even blaming him. I'm just saying I feel like they wrote him into a corner. It was his first time being champ, so he may have just kind of just been like, I don't want to rock the boat. So let me just, be the company guy. But me personally, I think they could have done it a better way. I think you could have kept the belt on him and still done something with Goldberg. If what we've talked about is actually going to happen, I still think you could have done something. You could have done Gunther and Goldberg without a title, but we'll get to that in a minute. But as of right now, just your thoughts on Jay's title reign and how it ended.
Well, I'm surprised at how it ended. I don't follow the internet. I'm not a big internet guy. I don't really like reading. I mean, everybody has the right to their opinion, but the whole Yeet thing, man, look, Jay is over like no other wrestler in the company. I mean, nobody is as over as Jay. When he comes down that ramp and walks, all those people can't wait to touch him. They can't wait to yeet. I have no problem with it. That's why he does it. It works every time, man. He comes into that ring, the whole auditorium, the whole stadium, if he's in the stadium, they're all doing the yeet. And then he'll get in the ring and they'll stop the music. And they're like, one more time. And then they do it again. I mean, that's why he does it. It's his thing. I mean, to be the man, you got to beat the man. Seth does his, I'm a visionary, I'm a revolutionary. They all do it. Jay is just making it work better than any of them. I just, if that's what the internet is saying, I couldn't disagree with that more. I think all that works. I don't think WWE painted him. I think this is all him. And I think he does it because obviously he sells a lot of shirts with the yeet on it. I mean, pretty much every shirt he sells has yeet on it, and they're you said it, they're selling high. So he's rolling with it. It's a smart thing to do. Now, as far as the title reign, I was very shocked because Jay, like I said, still right now the most over wrestler on the roster. I don't think you needed to take it off of him. I guess they're doing it because they think stakes will be higher in the match with Gunther and Goldberg. But like you said, I don't think that needs a title involved. We already have the smack talk between the two. All right, we got the disrespect from Gunther to Goldberg with Gage in the audience. They set this all up months ago. So the stakes are already set. And then Goldberg says this is a retirement match. So if he wins the title, then what? Now, there could be a scenario there that you and I have talked about in the chat. I won't go on about it. I'll let you broach that subject.
No, go ahead.
Well, what we suspect will happen is that Goldberg will actually get over and win the title. He'll beat Gunther. But then Mr. Money in the Bank, Seth freaking Rollins, will take that opportunity to beat Goldberg and become the champion.
And
yeah, go ahead.
And you could insert Braun Breaker. You could insert
Bronson?
Bronson Reed, Spear, Tsunami. Mm-hmm. And then Seth just walks in, puts a foot on Goldberg's chest, and then that's how you write Goldberg off. And because he's going out on his back, and then he shouldn't get any hate from the internet. I don't care. That man, if he takes those spears from Braun, and then even one Tsunami, yeah, leave that man alone. Okay.
Well, this scenario should, if it plays out this way, Goldberg gets one last chance at glory. It'll be brief glory, but he'll have one more title reign on his resume. But then he'll also do what most old school wrestlers do. It's just kind of a tradition, going out on your back. So it's that case would be like it would be twofold for Goldberg. He'd get the title run, but then he would also go out on his back. Like you said, if he takes a spear and man, a Tsunami, yeah, you know what? Goldberg's a tough dude, man. Tough dude, but he's not no spring chicken anymore. I worry about Bronson Reed. I think that Breaker could take something off of that spear, but
Goldberg won't let him. And Goldberg won't let Bronson take anything off of the Tsunamis.
Okay,
that's how he operates. This man almost lost his own arm putting it through a windshield.
Well, man, that's just dumb. I mean, they make fake windshields. I mean, and then how did that work out for him?
And they even said, like, we'll gimmick the window. He's like, nope, it's gotta be real. He was like,
Yeah, I mean, look,
dumbest
man.
thing I've ever done. I almost lost my arm.
Yeah, I mean, come on, So I mean, man, why take a chance on losing your breastbone? Just tell Bronson, man, look, I ain't young no more. Take a little bit off.
Yeah, I
But
think
we'll see,
Bronson
man.
is
We'll see.
pretty good at landing that thing without. I think he takes more than the guy laying on his back.
Man, he makes it look good. I will say that because sometimes he's landed those. I'm like, shit. Because the dude look, man, he's what, 350?
At
Coming from
least
like 10,
he's
12 feet
lost some
in the
weight.
air.
He's
Yeah,
lost
he
some
had
weight.
okay, so maybe like 320 then. That's still a lot of
He's
weight
still a
coming
big
down
boy.
on
I
you.
ain't saying he's small.
Yeah, but man, it is wrestling. They're professionals. I'm sure it looks worse than we think it is.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times it is. I mean, I've seen interviews of wrestlers like you look at the bump on the tape and they're like, "Oh no, I didn't feel it. I mean, it looks bad, but it actually was fine. I was actually fine afterwards."
Yeah.
And it's like, how are you fine after that? Like, I take Drew McIntyre for example. Like when he took that, he went for the Claymore and the Hell in a Cell against Punk, and he missed, and his back was like spine first on the edge of those steel steps. And he was asked about it. He was like, "Yeah, it didn't feel great, but I hit it just perfectly where I was okay." And then he also said I would never do it again. But he said it was a part of the match, kind of a in the moment thing. And then Bobby Lashley talked about when Big E slammed him on the edge of the steel steps too. And it was kind of like, damn, Big E. I mean, it was like on the edge. And Bobby was like, damn, I'm actually okay.
Yeah, adrenaline probably plays a big part too,
Yeah, yeah. But yeah. So yeah, I thought, they did the whole Gunther Goldberg thing. Goldberg came back and got in Gunther's face, everything. I mean, people can say what they want. I mean, Goldberg comes out, people change his name, they get excited, they get hyped. So
Mhm.
I don't. That's why I ignore all the internet hate. Like, say what you want. Like, and when you're there, it's different, and everybody knows he's not winning. So chill out.
What we just said he might win, but
Well,
then I
okay,
know what you're saying.
yeah, he's not gonna walk out at the end of the night as champion. This is
No,
it.
no, no, no,
He's
no.
already made it very clear this is a retirement match. And I was waiting because he did the sit down with Cole, and then I was actually kind of hoping Gunther would go a little harder on his promo. I mean, I thought it was good. Maybe he will eventually, but I thought he did. It was still a good promo. Don't get me wrong. Um, I thought he would go a little harder, make it a little more personal. Not necessarily calling out Goldberg's family, but just the shit everybody says about Goldberg, which is incorrect, by the way. Go back and watch his. Okay, majority of those matches were they a couple minutes, yes. But there was like the pay-per-view matches, and there were some matches on Nitro even where he would go 20 minutes. And I implore everybody, we'll do a retro on this or a watch along. Goldberg versus Scott Steiner on Monday Nitro is probably his best match. I take back what I said about DDP because I just recently rewatched the match with Scott Steiner. That's probably his best match.
Okay,
It's
I've
long.
never seen it, so I would check it out. But that does kind of just bring me to a quick question. The match between him and Gunther. I'm not talking about post match, just him and Gunther, bell to bell, 5 minutes over under.
I'll say just over.
Okay, that's fair.
I'll equate
I'm
it
gonna
to
say under, but
no, I'll
I'll,
equate it to the match they had with Brock and Goldberg at 33, where it was
mhm.
just an intense 5 minutes, and everybody walked away from that match thinking it was the greatest thing on the show. So
Oh, hey, give me 5 great minutes rather than 10 terrible minutes. I'll take that any day.
yeah, everybody left that show was like, "Oh, that was the best match on the card." I was like, "Oh, look at y'all now talking shit. Y'all was talking shit not too long ago. Now you're like, oh, the best match on the whole show." Yeah, because they just knocked each other around the whole time.
I'm curious to see if he can get Gunther because Gunther's kind of long and tall. I'm curious to see if Gunther can do his part to get that jack because he's going to have to get straight up.
I think he'll be fine because he got Lashley up no problem. He
And he
got Drew
did get Brock
McIntyre up no
up.
problem. He got
Yeah,
Brock up
and
no
I know that
problem.
was years ago,
Yeah,
I think we can both say that Goldberg was probably in a little bit better shape than, although he's still in tremendous shape. I mean, look,
he's
Goldberg is
had
older than I am, so
he's had stem cells done. So he says his shoulder feels a lot better than it did because he said every one of those matches he was working hurt.
hmm,
His shoulder was bad, which is why he had
okay,
a hard time getting people up.
okay, all right. Well,
But
look, I
even
guess
though
we'll
you're not
find
really
out.
using your shoulder, you're using your legs to get the person up. But hey,
Right,
neither
right.
here nor there. But I'll say just over 5 minutes, around the length of the Brock match, 133, and then the extenuating circumstances around that because it is Saturday night's main event. They keep those tight anyway.
That's true. And then the post match, if what we think is going to happen happens, that will take up several minutes.
I can't see it not happening. Like nothing else would make sense to because or he'll just straight up either that or he's just gonna straight up lose.
Yeah, and then so then do you run it back with Gunther and Jay? I mean, then to me it's like, well, why did you take it off of Jay?
Exactly.
If you're not going to hand it over to Goldberg in this instance, in the circumstance, what was the point?
Exactly. Um. Yeah, because I don't know. I don't know. To me, that's the only thing that makes sense. Get rid of that briefcase. It also makes sense because they're trying to build up this faction that still doesn't have a name. Um, with Seth, and they're trying to make it meaningful. So he has to be champion again. To me, that's the only way to do it. And maybe after that you can take Gunther off TV for a while because he's been on TV for like the last couple years straight. Like, dude needs a break.
Right.
Um, but I don't know. I don't know. I would like to see Seth get the belt and you switch it up a little bit and have Roman come back and chase Seth
That'd be nice. Is
as the
Gunther
champ.
fighting at Night of Champions?
No,
Okay, I was going to say, because that's what it used to be. Every title used to be defended, but of course now there's so many titles running around. You'd be there all night trying
yeah,
to.
no. You
Yeah.
got the women's US and IC, the men's US and IC, the tag titles.
Yeah,
Tag
man.
titles ain't even on the show as far as I know. Oh no, they are. I think Street Profits are going up against the Wyatt Six, right?
Oh,
I
okay.
believe so.
Yeah. Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah, I believe so. So should see that. Um, other than that, last thing I guess we'll touch on, and maybe this had a lot to do with why the man wasn't around. I was thinking about this earlier. But did you hear the news about The Rock and his health issues?
No.
Yeah, he was having some one was his gut, I think one was his I almost want to say his heart. But for sure
Oh,
his gut. He was having some issues with it and he had to go get looked at. And that may have had played a role in why he wasn't as featured and wasn't at Mania. He didn't want to do anything physical or couldn't do anything physical and he didn't disclose any of that because he's kind of been radio silent,
mhm.
for a while now. I know he's got some projects coming out, um, but yeah.
Yeah. Really looking forward to the Smashing Machine.
hmm I was curious when he got casted originally. I was like, how the hell they gonna make him look like that? Then damn.
Hmm.
I mean, he's unrecognizable in that trailer. Trailer's really good too.
It
Um,
is.
so yeah, that's why I said it's just a lot of the comments even said it too. His first actual acting role, he's not going to be himself.
Yeah. Yeah. And I heard that he's done a really good job. So hopefully this will silence some of the critics, and justifiably so.
Well, he
And
can
Rock can.
act.
Yeah.
We know he can act. He did Be Cool and he did the football movie, not Game Plan, the other one. Uh,
Oh,
with the
Gridiron Gang.
Gridiron Gang. So
Yeah.
I know he can act. It's just he hadn't been. He just was just himself turned up a notch.
Hmm.
Once he played Hobbs, it's like I'm just gonna be Hobbs in every movie now. Like, okay. Um. So yeah. I think that's it for now as far as just like regular current events. I know we've been kind of talking about it here. Um, this Saturday is WWE Night of Champions.
And right
125.
now, yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but
Oh,
as
you
we're
go.
recording this, it looks like they are going to be in Riyadh. I know some of you are aware of some of the issues going on in the Middle East, but it looks like it is going to be on at Riyadh. So for us here in the States, it will be afternoon of Champions.
Yeah. CBS doesn't want to let me look. Okay, whatever. Let's look at Wikipedia. All right, so we got 6 matches. Oh my God! Look who's getting on the card here. Sami Zayn taking on Karrion Kross.
Man, Cross has been, every time he shows up on the screen, the crowd has been popping big time. So I'm glad they're getting him in the ring. And look, I've been a big critic of Karrion Cross, and I think justifiably so. But let's see what he can do with this. He's getting some shine. Let's see if he can make it work.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's been the slowest. You could arguably say it's been the slowest build ever, with him like messing with people backstage and getting into it and trying to influence AJ Styles to Sami Zayn to the Miz and all that stuff. And yeah, the crowd's taking a liking to him finally. And it's not that they never did like him. I just think that they just tried to do so many different things with him, from the faction to we won't even mention the bullshit costume. To finally him getting back to him kind of being himself. And I always liked him. I loved him when he was in NXT. So maybe they're slowly going to evolve him back to that. And he has mentioned that he would shave his head, but he said he won't just do it for the sake of doing it. He said it would have to be a part of the story and make sense to do, which is smart. So who knows?
Right.
But I am going to say, I'm going to go with Karrion Kross. I'm going to hope that he gets to win here, and I'm going to pick him to win. Sammy, while he's been on the roll, I don't think he really needs it. I just hope that I just want to see Cross win and keep this roll going.
I'm with you. Cross needs to win. Like I said, I've been a critic, but I'd like to see him get over. And, you know, he's hot right now. Crowds behind him, so you can't have him lose, even to a beloved wrestler like Sammy. Cross has to win, and I believe he will.
Rhea Ripley versus Raquel Rodriguez in street fight. Now, I mean, these two are good friends, so I mean, anytime good friends get together, usually it's pretty good. Now, and you add in street fight, so I'm hoping that these two tear it up. But let's be real, y'all. Come on now. Mommy's always on top, and she's gonna be on top when she wins this match. And I hope, Lord, I hope and pray that she can carry her friend to a decent match because Raquel just has not been the same this time around.
I agree with everything you said. I do think it will be more entertaining than people think. I think it being a street fight will help it. You know, they can throw some chairs, maybe some tables. You know, the crowd be chanting, "We want tables." 2 minutes into the match, they'll get them eventually. Yeah, of course Rhea's going to win, but I think it will be a surprisingly entertaining match. Not a show stealer, but it will be better than we all think it will be.
Yeah. All right, I'm actually really looking forward to this one. Jacob Fatu defending the United States Championship against Solo Sikoa. Uh, a lot of people pegged that they would do this match at Mania, but it would have been really rushed. But yeah, I think the way they've done it has been perfect. I mean, I really like Solo Sikoa's character now. It's like a blend of when he was the tribal chief or the pseudo tribal chief and his like own personality coming out too. So I really dig it. But this is still Jacob Fatu's time. He's so over right now. It's insane. And he's going to be U.S. champ for a while. It's going to take something significant to get that belt off of him. And he's raising the bar on that title as well. So that's another reason I say that. So I think it'd be good. You know, you're probably going to have JC Mateo in there involved, but you also got Big Jim that's probably going to be in Jacob's corner too. So I think Jacob's going to win.
Yeah, Jacob's definitely going to win. I think this will also be an entertaining match, but I don't see any way that Solo wins. It'll be Jacob.
Oh man. I'm curious. I know it's been a while, Rob. I know it's been a while, and you're finally getting this, but then
Oh,
you got
bro, wait, it's been
then
way
you
too
get then you got
long,
the
way too
sister in the
long.
corner too. So
Mm,
I don't know which way you gonna go, man. You
mm.
got Jade Cargill going up against Asuka for the Queen of the Ring. I'm at 30 first, man.
Mm. Man, this is a tough one to call. Look, you know I love me some Asuka. I've made that clear on this podcast many times, and I will do it many more times. Man, and she's just now back, so you can argue this would be a good way to elevate her. But man, I look, we keep it real on this podcast. I'm gonna say that Jade gets over. Look, I think Asuka could make this Queen thing work, even with the language barrier. And I'm not so crazy. Well, wait, this is I forgot. This is the wrong paper. I'm thinking of the wrong paper. Wait, this is the Queen
Yeah,
of the Ring final.
yeah.
Yeah. So okay, I'm point. Okay. I don't really like this king and queen thing. I just I don't think it really elevates the wrestler. I think it's kind of a goofy thing, walking around a crown, claiming to be queen, king. I don't. Very few people make it work. I'm just going to say Jade because I think Jade would just be better in this situation. Um, it's not a title, but it's something she could walk out with the crown. She's big, she's imposing, and then I guess uh, is it true that whoever gets to be queen and king, they get title matches at SummerSlam, correct? Yeah,
Yeah.
they get. Okay, so I'm gonna say it will be Jade, and she's gonna challenge, one of the ladies for the world title at SummerSlam.
Well, I think Jake would be ready for Asuka if and only if I didn't think Naomi was going to get involved. And I think she will.
Hmm.
I think
I
that
hadn't thought
Asuka.
about that. I hadn't
I
thought
think
about that.
Asuka's going to win, and I think I think Asuka's going to go on to challenge either Tiffany or probably most likely Io. I think that's what it'll be.
Ooh,
Um,
that would be a good
yeah,
one.
I think it's going to be Asuka versus Io. So I'm going to go with Asuka.
Well, I like your prediction better.
And we move right along to the King of the Ring tournament final, which is Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes. Something we hadn't seen since the Legacy days. And wow, have you heard what happened to the third member of Legacy? He got some legal troubles going on right now. Yeah,
Oh, DiBiase? No, I had not
yeah,
heard that.
yeah. He's
Okay.
some deep doo doo.
Mm.
Yeah, he ain't stepped in it. All right. Look, Randy don't need it. Randy's a solidified Hall of Famer. Um, they're gonna do this thing with Cody doesn't lose in Saudi, so I'm just gonna say Cody. He lost his championship at Mania. They got to build him back up to get ready for Cena. So there it is. Cody Rhodes, King of the Ring.
Man, I think this would be look, Cody was the biggest wrestler in the company, a world champion, and now he's going to be king of the ring. To me, that's
wait,
a
wait a minute.
I don't, man.
Stone Cold, King of the Ring.
Man, the only thing people remember about that reign is
the promo.
The promo. Nobody remembers him walking. Nobody remembers anything else about that. The King, this thing does not work. Look, King Booker made it work.
He did make it work.
He's one of the few that really made it work. I thought Xavier Woods gave it a good try.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the rest, to me, man, this just it doesn't work. So is Cody going to walk around like with his scepter and everything? I mean, it's going to look stupid. That just looks stupid.
No, I think they're going to do what they did last year. Remember, I think Gunther won, and then Nia Jax won. She walked around with the crown for a little bit, but then she stopped wearing it. It was only like a couple weeks, and she stopped wearing it.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Let's hope that's the case because I think it's all just kind of silly to me. But I do think it would be better for Cody to win because then either we get the rematch between him and Cena, or we get another match between him and Seth, which we know those two always make magic together. I guess it would work either way. If Randy won, he could challenge Cena again, or either way, it's a good match at SummerSlam. But man, I'm going to say Cody wins. But
I know.
Yeah, it's just the whole king and queen thing. I wish they would just quit doing it, but
To me, it's not that. It's just I just wish you would just have somebody new, somebody else get that nod and keep creating. Somebody else. Like I don't know why Carmelo Hayes or even Andrade or somebody like that. Like put somebody new in that spot that hasn't been there and see how the crowd reacts. See if they do get a reaction. See if you can do something with this. Like I think Hayes. I mean, you could have built him up as a young underdog, getting over on all these old school guys. You have Aleister Black back. Uh, you have Rusev back.
mhm.
It's like use the talent that you brought back instead of you just using the same people. It's kind of like I don't know if Triple H has lost control of the wheel, but lately it just feels like Vince when it's rinse and repeat with a lot of this shit.
Yeah, I mean, like you, I agree. I don't look. It adds a little extra to the match when you have the winners also get the title shot at SummerSlam, but I don't think it's necessary. Like you, somebody like Carmelo could have used this. I thought Carmelo could have won the Money in the Bank. I thought that would have been great having him walk around, being that brash young guy,
I'm him.
But yeah, exactly. Yeah, I thought that would have really worked, but it wasn't to be. Like I said, we'll see what happens, but I think it'll be Cody to get him back in the.
He don't need it. Like I think once you hit WrestleMania victory, beat the Tribal Chief. I mean, it doesn't get any higher than that. I mean, you beat Roman Reigns in Tribal Combat with all that stuff going on. You were a champ for a year. I mean, you really don't need any further acknowledgement that you're that dude. Like,
No, well, neither does Randy. I mean,
yeah.
neither does Oscar. And but they,
Well,
I
you
guess
got
they
Jade. At least you got Jade in there.
right. I guess they just feel like this is who the people want to see on the top of the card at SummerSlam. That's the only thing I can think.
I suppose. All right, and last but not least, of course, and it took what April, May, June, 3 months for this man to cut a real promo as a heel
Man,
that people were
yeah,
actually like, "Oh shit, okay,
where has that been?
yeah." Uh, CM Punk taking on John Cena for the WWE Undisputed Championship, and um, as much as I think this will be hopefully a good match, both guys are older. Punk has since he's come back from his tricep injury, has had better matches, but he's also been there with good workers. I don't care what anybody says about John Cena. This man's not a good worker. He's never has been a good worker. Okay, and lately, whoever he works against has been carrying his ass through the matches. Sans maybe our truth. Um, but it's gonna be more about the story than anything else. They'll still do what they got to do. Um, but at the end of the day, I don't think there's any way in hell CM Punk wins. I don't think he's gonna be. I'll just put out say it. I don't see Punk win the title again. I mean, he just doesn't need it. I
Hmm.
think just him having these compelling storylines is enough. I mean, dude's almost 50. I mean, Cena
Yeah,
is too, but still, it's just I think he does better chasing and having these compelling storylines, and he doesn't even have to work full time. He's working a lot lately, though. But I don't know. I'll stick with right now. John Cena, one way or another, gonna walk out champion.
yeah, I agree. It's going to be Cena. I
You
I
know what?
don't have
I'll even say R-Truth cost him the match.
cost who Punk.
Punk, yeah, because he's gonna be like, no, I want to beat him. I don't want you to beat him. I want to beat him because he's
That's
so crazy and manic right now. It just, I can
that's
see it.
you know what, man, that's a good call. I hadn't thought about that, but that's a really good call. I could see that happening too. Now, I don't have high hopes for this match. You're right. Punk has been wrestling better, but
I did
I
say
still
better.
don't think it's, huh?
I did
Yeah,
say better. I didn't
you
say
did.
great.
Yeah, man. I still don't think it's very good. And back in the day, as you said, Cena not the greatest worker, but back in the day when he would work with good workers, he could take that backside. I'm trying to he could be the secondary guy and still put on a good match.
Yeah.
Those matches with him and Punk back in the day, good matches. It's just, but we're not back in the day anymore. And I just have a feeling that this one could be a bit of a letdown. But look, these guys also are two veterans. They probably know, they probably are aware of what their deficiencies are. Maybe they know a way to work around that. But yeah, man, Cena's going to win, but I'm not sure this match is going to be pretty to look at.
Yeah, I mean, it ain't gonna be, I'll just go ahead and put it out there. It ain't gonna be Undertaker Goldberg because that was just
Oh, man, hopefully we'll never see nothing like that
that
again.
was some, or even Triple H to Shawn Michaels versus Kane
Yes.
and Undertaker. I don't know which one was funnier.
Man, I did everything I could to get Book to watch that one. He just wouldn't do it. Remember, we tried.
Yeah, we tried. Hey, you talking about some comedy? Ooh,
Man,
Lord have mercy. But
have you ever done a watch along of that one on this show?
we have not. I don't know if we make it.
That's a try not to laugh.
Yeah, especially with Kane.
That's the challenge right there.
Yeah, especially Kane, damn mask getting knocked off, and he trying to cover up his face and shit, man. 2 seconds in the match, Triple H gets hurt.
I'm just laughing thinking about it.
Yeah. Triple H gets hurt 2 seconds in the match. He gets whipped in the corner, tore his pec. I mean, he was that whole match was jacked up from the jump. So Shawn had to wrestle essentially the whole match, and he ain't wrestled. It had been like 10 years.
Yeah, it was bad. For those who haven't seen it, I mean, if you want a good laugh, definitely check it out.
Yep. But Night Champion Saturday, I do have to work Saturday, but eventually we'll get around talking about it.
So yeah, I'll be able to watch it live. I think it's noon here. 11 or noon.
I mean, I don't start work till 3, so I might be able to watch it, but I won't be able to do a post show until probably Monday. Yeah. Oh shoot, I missed Josh in the chat.
Oh, what's up, Josh? Joshua Cole.
Yes, sir. Always around in chat.
All right.
But thank you all for checking us out. Let us know your predictions down in the comment section, and we'll get back with y'all here in a little bit. Got a little special something. It's been a little while, so take care, everybody. See you here in a minute. Peace.